CEO. If you got there, got up to the, went over to the elevator, took the elevator to the fourth floor, you might be a vice president because there was a desk there to ask for directions. If you went past that and crossed a landing with a door that was marked old boardroom, then you were probably a secretary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I would say, it's like Elon Musk. He's good at taking money and putting it into projects and getting people to work in those projects.
Taxpayer money. He's good at taking taxpayer money.
Well, he took his money too, but he had the engineers that did work, and in some ways, it's a little like my old boss at the construction site said. He said, "My job is to get you in the right spot." In other words, we put the kids that could run around up on the top, and they kept me down on the ground with the saw because I could work the saw. Just to have, and I was quite fine with that. Just knowing where to put your people that they would bring in the most, get the most work done.
I am ducking out for a second to change Kindles. I will be right back.
Change Kindles. Okay.
I don't know. It's getting crazy. But yeah, that whole thing with Epstein coming back, is it really coming back, or is it just coming back in your world?
Well, they still have to, Johnson still has to come up with more ways to stop that vote. He got another opportunity here with the shutdown, but they say they've gotten enough votes. So that'll be a big juncture when they have a vote in the House on it.
Well, it was a little bit, I think I said something to Renee just a minute ago, that basically this is, forget about being Epstein and think about it being rich motherfuckers getting away with shit.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe not, I don't know how you word it, but it doesn't make any difference if it's Republican or Democrats. It's, they've got the money and they've got the ability to influence politics in ways the rest of us can't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Bigger screen, better sound.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I like that avatar. That's neat. Well, the thing is, though, Jack, is this is real Machiavellian politics here I'm playing, but I want the cover up to succeed, to continue to succeed.
Yeah.
And the reason is that's what's driving the MAGA voters crazy and might actually depress their turnout in the midterm, is they're so mad at the Republicans now and Trump and Bondi for what they see now as a cover up of what they were promised they would get. And not that they're going to vote for Democrats, but it might depress their turnout in the midterm.
Well, and you got to think about why it does that. And it does it just simply because, it's that little difference between who Trump is and who his voters are.
Yes.
Trump is one of the rich motherfuckers that can get away with anything.
Yeah.
The rest of us sitting out here, if we break the law, man, we go to jail. we get a ticket. We pay. We got no choice, and then those worthless assholes can get away with it.
And that's
I think that's a lever to use.
Yeah, that's what is angering the MAGA supporters, the MAGA people who are into this, and they're still getting whipped up by the likes of Glenn Beck and Joe Rogan and a lot of others on this stuff, and so they're staying energized about this story, and it's beneath the surface, and as long as the cover up continues, they'll stay riled up.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm all for the cover up succeeding.
It's a basic feeling out here amongst those of us with little power that we don't have any influence. And at one time, it looked like the Democrats were causing the problem. Now it looks like the Republicans are causing the problem. So, as I said, if we could pry 15 percentage points out of these rural counties, we flip states like crazy.
Yeah. And all that has to happen is them to get mad enough at Republican leadership not to vote.
Yep. Either suppress the vote or just get mad and vote the people out. I got to start watching my language here a little bit. Sorry.
In any case, you'd think they'd be getting pissed off that guys making congressional salaries are getting paid and their $15 an hour job, $20 an hour job, they're getting fired from.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to make the point.
I don't know what it takes.
And the other thing is they've got to quit talking. I think it was the meme that Renee put in the first one, and it was a nice little talking points. But you know what? It was written by an English major, and you could tell it. I mean, it was written by an English major to be read by English majors.
Well, maybe we should get Walls to do a translation.
There you go. Sometimes it's that when we did that little thing up there, Sherry and I did, and I wrote the flyers that went out, and just put it in just plain blunt English. Don't go into big fancy words or anything, and people understand it and it gets to them. And like I said, it's amazing. You put those little talking points into a flyer, and an old woman gets up there talking about sex and sex criminals and stuff like that. It's hard for those young lawyers to figure out how to handle that.
Well, when I was editing the naval ships technical manuals, the basic instructions were that it was to be written at the 9th grade level, which is where the sailors had to be just to get in, and not above them, so that they had trouble understanding basic instructions. And it was for every piece of equipment on the boat or the ship. And that was the level you had to write at and maintain.
Well, I think it's going back to the old Churchill speeches and things like that. That's what he did. He put it in simple English that everybody understood. He didn't use big multi-syllable words when there was a single syllable word that would work better or work just as good. And I think in some ways, I believe the media on the left has way too much English majors. It's back in the 90s when they started blogging, and then people like Ezra Klein and so on started getting into this stuff. All they could do was write a pretty sentence. And people thought they were smart, and so they went on up, and they really don't know that much. Even now, I'm amazed when I read some of their stuff going, well, what are you talking about? It's just, but
well, you can, you can run your you can put a paragraph in AI and say, take this down to 6th grade level.
Mhm.
and they do it. They're pretty good at it.
Well, there's the old thing. There's a formula you use as they taught us in teacher education classes for determining the grade level of text. And it basically has to do with the number of syllables in the words and the number of those words in a sentence, as I remember. We are talking 40 years, a class I took 40 years ago. So
No, it was 3-syllable words, and you couldn't have more than 2 or 3 of them, I think, in the same paragraph.
yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, there's a basic formula that they use in education to determine the grade level of a piece of text. And because I don't
When I
remember.
was going back early 90s in my newsroom at the Orlando Sentinel, it was a big controversy. They came through and they'd installed this software on our computers where we wrote our articles, and you could hit a button and it would scan your copy and reduce it to an 8th grade level.
Yeah.
And that's what they wanted us to do. And there was just a hue and cry. I mean, there was practically fist fights in the newsroom over that. People were, and I thought, and my attitude was, I'd probably, if it gets more people to read my article, fine, I'll do it. And, it didn't bother me so much, but it was very upsetting to a lot of the old school journalists in the newsroom.
I just found a readability checker online. You put in a block of text and it grades it for you.
Ha! Really?
Yeah.
I got enough red check marks in college as it was. I don't need a machine doing it for me too. I remember one time I had a little paper to do and I got busy, and so I ran into at the time before we had computers, and ran into the college library where they had the typewriters, and I typed that sucker up and looked through and made sure all the words were right and turned it in, and I got downgraded for my grammar. I realized the old boy Chicago grammar wasn't the same as my hillbilly grammar.
So I will admit I do have a grammar pet peeve, and I should be over it by now. And that's that's the use of good and well. When I hear someone saying, good is an adjective, well is an adverb. The two should not be exchanged.
Now,
here's my thought. When you use
say it again. What I didn't quite follow. What is it that you don't like about there?
Oh, well, here's an example that destroyed it in the first place. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Uh-huh.
And it actually created a furor at the time with everybody telling them that it should be Winston tastes well, because taste is a verb and well is an adverb.
Oh.
So anytime I hear someone using good as an adverb, it's like nails on a blackboard for me.
Really?
Whereas my feeling is that if you use the word well too much, unless you're talking about health, you're just sounding snooty, and
I know. Yeah, it's become interchangeable in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
But it still aggravates me.
Well, there are some ways of forms of grammar that will basically tell people what your social class is.
Like the word if should always take a third person verb, but no. Any supposition clause takes a plural verb, and they insist on using singular verbs, and that aggravates me too.
I tell you what, I never understood. I had the hardest class I took in college, and when I was trying to be an English major, and I gave up for history instead, is grammar. I thought algebra was difficult, or calculus. I almost failed calculus, and I actually had to get a tutor to pass calculus. But I almost failed grammar. I had no idea how complicated grammar can get. It was bad. I really had a difficult time with that.
I think I got over some of it in college, especially, is to create a voice. There's the voice that talks the hillbilly talk, and then there's the voice that talks the proper professor talk. And I would get into that voice, and I would write in that voice, and that helped a lot. And then
I had a math genius for a father, and I could never get beyond algebra 2.
Well,
as soon as you got up into calculus or trig, forget it.
I basically feel like I'm smart, and I learned this later, that for males, we really should, most of us should never take abstract math until after we're like 20. Our brain has not developed to deal with abstract
abstractions or nuances.
Yeah. And so I took math because you're supposed to, if you're going to go to college in high school, and algebra, and then we didn't have trigonometry, but we had algebra and geometry. And it was all I could do to keep from failing those classes. Just did not understand, could not grasp the abstractness of it. And I found out later, well, that was not me. That was just my brain. And I got better at it. And I finally took a class or two in college, because I was determined to try to master algebra. And then after I finally thought, okay, I've kind of mastered it, I never looked at math again.
Yeah, my dad was doing trig when he was 10, graduated from high school at 14, and was working as an accountant for the railroad at 16.
Wow.
But now I did well with like accounting stuff.
Yeah.
My bookkeeping, my favorite math class was statistics. I found statistics to just be fun.
Yeah, when he left the Army on disability, he went to teach at Four Seas College in Fresno, and his course was called 100 Ways to Embezzle Your Boss. And the last class was 101 Ways to Get Caught.
Well, my big word pet peeve is, and I had to give up on this because the world got away from me on it, is I hated impact as a verb. Affect is a good enough word for that concept.
Be sure you don't use effect in its place.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That always bugged me, but I had to give up on that because everybody does it now. So.
I think it's trying to find a word that that's stronger.
Yeah.
Affect is kind of a weak word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Well, I didn't ask you anything, Alexa. What are you talking? Every once in a while, Alexa just says, "I'm not sure how to help you with that," and like I didn't ask her to help me. I think she just feels
That's usually
lonely
when
every
my-
now and then.
That's usually
Maybe
when
she
some
thinks we should
vibration
ask
leaves
her a
my mouth
question.
till I click on it for me.
Well, maybe she want. Do we want to ask her anything? Since she seems to want, she's wanting to get into the conversation. There. um, Alexa, what's the weather where Jamie lives?
Good afternoon, Craig. The current weather is 70 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has partly sunny weather, with a high of 74 degrees and a low of
Well,
48
no.
degrees.
What, Alexa? I'm asking you for the weather in the state of Washington.
Having trouble connecting to
In
the
Washington, D.C. District
Try
of Columbia, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun.
All right,
Today,
go away,
you can
Alexa.
look
You're
for
no
partly
help.
sunny weather, with a high of 74 degrees
And
a low of
there is
48
why
degrees.
I don't use that stuff. It's quicker. It's quicker just to type in 3 words and find
Well, I
it.
could probably use her help. I'm going to go write a blog article I've been meaning to write for ages.
Hmm.
On what?
Oh, it's called My Little Town. And if you think about it, strangely enough, there were places in Los Angeles that were actually little towns with main
Yeah.
streets and everything. And despite being surrounded by this humongous city, and it happened that I spent a great deal of my childhood off and on when my aunt lived there in one. So I was going to write about it.
Oh,
But I need to know what the population in 1950 was in Westchester, California.
now that might be more. I find that Alexa can't answer a lot of those kinds of questions, history and stuff like that. But now that's the
I'm
kind
not
of
quite
thing.
sure how to help you with that.
I didn't ask you anything. Um, but that is something we can add. Let's see. We'll see. Let's see. Put him up. So now what was your question?
What was the population in 1950 in Westchester, California? And if she needs me to be specific, the zip code is 90045.
Westchester.
Yeah, zip code might work.
Westchester, California, zip code. What was the zip code?
90045.
45.
In 1950.
I couldn't find a reliable source that reports specifically. One hint, a demographic map of Los Angeles in 1950 shows Westchester, Playa del Rey with about 35,000.
Yeah, see, now that's taking in all of the beach cities.
Yeah.
But Westchester specifically was next to what was then Los Angeles Airport before it became LAX.
So as it says, if you like, I can dig into the archival census tract data to estimate more precisely. Yeah, sure. Whatever you're talking about, try it. Sure, try that.
Well, that was where they should have went the first time.
I guess he's going to the actual census data, huh?
Uh-huh.
Doing.
Yeah,
Is that public now? Let's see. Is it 40 years census data becomes public?
No, 75
75. Oh,
or 60 now, because I know the next one won't be the 1960 will not be available for another 2-3 years.
Yeah, but that goes right down to individual names and stuff.
Right.
But the general
Oh.
census tract data should be available for every year.
You know, I
Somewhere
keep meaning
there in the.
I keep meaning to change this thing. I've got it set on more comprehensive research, and it takes longer. Anyway, short answer: no official, because zip codes didn't exist until 1963. Well, I didn't know that. Well, asking for 1950 is like asking who won the Super Bowl in 1932. Cute, but no.
Oh yeah. So see, Westchester, Playa del Rey, and yeah, she's having.
Yeah, that's as close. That's as tight a focus as the rigorous way is to rebuild it. Tracks.
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is get a census map of 1950, and then get the census tract.
Right.
I think that's what it's proposing. It says you can rebuild it from the 1950 census tract that overlaps that boundary. That is doable, but it's a tract level exercise.
Well, I can go with 35,000.
Yeah. It says bottom line use 35. What is this little symbol? I keep seeing it use, and I don't know why it puts that little.
Approximately.
Is that what it means?
Uh-huh.
That squiggly line you're glaring at is shorthand for approximately.
I just told you that.
But now it's official.
But I like it. It says it's what we math nerds and census archivists use when the number isn't an exact. It says humans invented it so they could be sloppy with numbers and still look official.
Well, there's also the
Plus minus.
the basic concept that you can never measure something exactly.
I'm sorry. I just noticed Renee. I'm sorry, Renee. I've been so busy playing, I didn't notice you were there.
I just popped on like
okay.
2 seconds ago.
Hi there, Renee.
Hi.
You missed our discussion on Hitler's flatulence. I just want to let you know what you missed.
But you would have loved the whole English language discussion.
Oh, I thought about you, Renee. Yesterday I was popping around on my YouTube and a video showed up. There's some kind of movie coming out about the 1984 author. The book.
Oh yes.
Orwell.
Orwell.
Yeah, because you had talked about you had read that book about Orwell, and
No, I actually laid it aside.
But there's a movie coming out that looked really interesting about it. That's actually hitting the theaters pretty soon. About Orwell and tying it to today.
Yeah, I got about halfway through that book, Renee, after you recommended it. And I was fine. I got the message. He didn't like the British Raj enough.
I had to look at so many words, and it was just, I said, I just can't do this anymore. I'm getting too old for it.
Here it is. It's called
something.
It's called
Burma.
It's called. There it is.
Burma?
It's called Orwell 2 + 2 = 5.
Right.
That's the name of the documentary.
Huh.
I wonder if they have a trailer. Oh, here's the trailer.
When I sit down to write a book, I write it because there is some lie that I want to expose.
Again, how many fingers?
My starting point is always a feeling of injustice. The very concept of objective truth is fading out of this world.
I'm going to set down what I dare not say aloud to anyone.
This prospect frightens me much more than bombs. The words democracy, freedom, justice have each of them several different meanings, which cannot be reconciled with one another. Political language is designed to make lies sound truthful.
The love in the air, I've never seen anything like it.
And murder respectable. Freedom is slavery. War is peace. Ignorance is strength. Totalitarianism, if not fought against, could triumph anywhere. Do you begin to see then what kind of world we are creating?
Huh.
Well, the trailer's as long as the book.
Is it going to be released in theaters, or is it going to be on one of the streaming services?
I think. Whoa, I'm good. Now, why am I getting an echo?
Yes.
We got your echo going again, Jerry.
Oh,
What is going on? Oh, let me see if I mute. Do we still have an echo? Okay, Jamie. Okay, Jamie. You're busted. I muted Jamie and the echo stopped.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. Jamie's now gone and I still have an echo. This is something. Oh, I see. I've got us on two browsers. Ha! That's what's happening. It wasn't Jamie's fault after all.
Oh, I'm glad it's you figuring all this out.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the thing about
You were unjustly accused, Jamie. It was my fault. I had our streaming platform open on two browsers.
oh, it was you, not me.
No, it wasn't you. Yes, it was not.
Well,
you.
you get my forehead.
You were unjustly accused. Anyway, that Orwell documentary, when I first saw it, it was an interview of Raoul Peck and the other guy who made it, and it's opening in theaters. I can't imagine it's going to be a big box office hit, but it does look good. I mean, I like how they tie it to the present, apparently.
They may be opening in theaters to make it Oscar eligible and then go to streaming.
Oh, okay.
that could be.
But
The
well, you didn't. Now, what was it you were complaining about, Jamie, about the book? You said he doesn't like British what?
The British Raj, RHA.
What is that?
That was the occupation of India and a whole lot of other countries where they mistreated the population.
He obviously thought they were racist. I mean, you get that if you reading like the first 2 or 3 pages that he didn't like racism.
Huh.
But that was the whole problem with the British Raj. They may have brought in democracy and given them a whole group of laws, but they did it by suppressing the population and bolstering the sultans and making it Queen Victoria Empress. So
Well, that
you know,
I did not know
in
that.
India, it happened in Australia, you know, any place that was pink on the map that used to be like a third of the world that was British, that was the Raj.
So that was the inspiration for Orwell, so to speak, was
Jamie, that was written by Paul Thoreau, was it not?
What?
The book was written by Paul Thoreau.
I don't know, the one you recommended, the
Yeah. Yeah. I try to read all of his books because the place where Rick and I always go on the Cape in Falmouth, he lives there.
Ah.
And then he goes to Hawaii half the year, and then he lives in Falmouth, Massachusetts, which is on the Cape the other half of the year.
Nice life if you can get it.
Yeah. I've never ran into him in a restaurant.
do you still see Old C when you go over there?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, yeah.
We decided not to go one year because we always gave her the best day that we were there, because you want to go when it's not raining and stuff like that, and we have to go in June so that we can take something called the Island Queen, which is cheap to go over. If we have to go use the port, the Port Authority, that's like $300 to get over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah. Where you can take this little ferry called the Island Queen. You can't take you can only go on your own purpose. But where it docks is only like to walk to Kathleen's house is only like maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But we just got to a point where when she says that her house is a cluster, you know, she's not joking. She wasn't joking. There were always grandkids. She took care of her grandkids. She was.
Oh, really?
Yes. The last time we went there, she completely forgot we were coming over, and we were sitting on her porch for about 3 hours waiting for her.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we just said, well, maybe this has run its course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I try to keep up with what she's doing on Facebook, but then I think she went through and cleaned up her Facebook page, and now I'm not on her friends list, and I don't do Facebook enough to get back on.
She just mainly puts up when it's candy making season, or when she's going to open up the little craft places at fairs and so on. Nothing really about the family anymore.
Yeah, nothing about the family. She has a chocolate. She actually makes the chocolate in her kitchen.
Yeah.
And then she sells it in a little shop that was her garage. She has a beautiful spot. She has a commanding view of Oaks Bluff Bay. She lives in Oaks Bluff.
I bought fudge from her before, and it is delicious.
I did too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And didn't Obama come to her shop one time?
Yes. Yeah, she used to take us to Obama's favorite restaurant.
Oh, really?
We would eat lunch with her and whoever else, you know, her grandkids or whatever. And he had this place right on Oaks Bluff that was called Nancy's. That was his favorite restaurant. So we used to go there all the time when we were visiting.
Yeah, we've got a place in our neighborhood, a Japanese restaurant that was he and Michelle on their date nights. Friday night, they've had date nights on Friday nights, and several times they went to this restaurant nearby, and boy, it would just be bedlam around that place, you know, and people would gather around. It was a tiny little restaurant. It was a restaurant that changed their menu every day. And it's like, and a meal's like $300. And it takes 6 months to get a reservation. Yeah, I've never been there. I mean, for all those reasons. But we got a couple of restaurants like that where they make it very difficult to eat there.
Yeah, the big one out here in California, I guess, is the French Laundry.
Oh yeah. Now I saw somewhere that it's gone downhill or something, or maybe somebody was just jealous.
I never went there to eat, so I wouldn't know.
Well,
my favorite is my happy place. When I talk about Asilomar in Pacific Grove, there's a restaurant called Fandango, and it's moderately priced. You know, it's bucks, but not crazy.
Yeah.
And the food is out of this world.
Oh.
In case you're ever in the neighborhood, go to Fandango's.
We're going to I guess what you would call a fancy restaurant around here with friends tomorrow, because tomorrow is Rick and I's 50th anniversary.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And the family's throwing us a big party at another restaurant next week because all these, you know, we had to get all family members together, and it's a holiday weekend. So they were able to get everybody together for next weekend. And then at the end of the month, Rick and I are going off. We talked about going to Hawaii again and going to a really fancy place. And then we just looked at each other and said we didn't want to get on a plane. we didn't want to spend $20,000 to $25,000 on a trip and then have Trump collapse the economy. So we just go back to our happy place. You get in a car and it's 2 hours and we're in Falmouth, and there are restaurants there we love, and we said fine.
Yeah.
A big deal about it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whenever David and I get worked up about some vacation idea, he has a rule that keeps us from going, is that he doesn't want to go stay in a hotel that doesn't have as many TV channels as we have at home. And when you apply that rule, you don't have to go anywhere as long as you have a lot of TV channels at home.
Well, the place we stay in Falmouth that we like to go to the best is looking right across the Vineyard Sound. I can literally see Martha's Vineyard from it's like a little condo room, and you can literally see. You get on your balcony, and we can literally see Martha's Vineyard.
Oh wow!
From where we stay.
That's such a great. The Cape is so cool.
I love it. We love it.
I
always say that if we win the lottery, we're going to buy a house there. The problem is that we have to play the lottery.
Yeah. I house set for some friends long time ago in Orleans. Have you ever been to Orleans?
Yes.
Yeah. I forget exactly where that is in relation to everything else.
I think that's called the Outer Cape.
Yeah. And I house sat in the winter. I mean, they didn't necessarily need a house sitter, but I wanted to stay there. And but they had no electric heat, or they only had the Franklin stove for heat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big thing. It didn't hold a lot of wood. I spent most of my time feeding the heater by going out and getting the wood and chopping wood and feeding. It was like, but it was sort of therapeutic in a way. Yeah, and the thing about it is, that was my whole day. Was I'd get wood, I'd chop the wood, I'd bring it in, feeding the heater was like took up 2/3 of the day.
When we first built this house, all we had was a wood stove. Now we don't, but we still have it as a backup. but I don't know when we'd ever use it because we now have a whole house generator. So, we have a combination of electric and wood pellets.
I remember back in the 70s, a bunch of California hippies moved into our county. And they were doing the back to the earth stuff and all that. And, I grew up in a house that didn't have indoor plumbing. So, I thought certain civilized things were good. I like indoor plumbing. I like having heat that I just push a button and I don't have to work. All that stuff.
Well, you didn't have. So, did you have an outhouse or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
had an outhouse and
Yeah.
the well.
See that
was,
what
the
I had
well
an
was
aunt-
about 100 feet from the house, so you had to go out and there's
Yeah.
what they call a well bucket, which was a tube, basically a tube with a valve in the bottom that would let the water come up into the tube, and you drop it on tie it to, it was on a rope, and you drop it in there, then fill it with water, and then bring up 2 gallons at a time. And you do 2 of them and carry 2 buckets of water up to the house. So
Well, when I was a kid and we'd go to Kentucky, regularly, because that's where both my parents' entire families were. And I had an aunt and uncle there, great aunt and uncle, who had an outhouse still. And as a kid, I just thought that was fascinating. And I literally thought that meant they were wealthy, because that meant they had a whole house just for their bathroom. Yeah. I thought you had to be wealthy to have something like that. And I blurted that out on Imus one time for some reason, and he had me tell that over and over again. Tell him about your aunt and uncle, their outhouse. He thought that was hysterical, but I genuinely did think that was a big deal, that they must have a lot of money to have their own house for a bathroom.
I remember when I go to my uncle's raisin ranch, there was an outhouse near the vines for the workers to use. And we all thought that was fascinating to get to go out and, get fresh tortillas in the morning and use the outhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the braceros and what we no longer have that used to work quite well, thank you.
Braceros. What's a bracero?
Bracero, they were the crews that were brought in from Mexico for the picking season for California agriculture.
Oh.
yeah,
And then they would go home.
Oh.
it was a special category just for that.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah, it got ruined by greed. The farmers didn't want to pay what would have amounted to minimum wage.
Mm.
That's the third new word I've learned today. 2 of them from
Bracero?
Jamie.
Yeah, we
Well,
grow
first
a
of all,
lot of- Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
I'm sorry to say that's one of those words I know what it means, but I couldn't come up with it if I had to use it in a sentence. If somebody else will use it, I can identify it.
Yeah, that's a new word on me too today. Yeah. I was going to say we have a lot of apples here, and it's Jamaicans who come and pick them, and they're not coming. They didn't
Really?
come in the spring to pick the strawberries. All I could think was they would rather be at home and be poor than to wind up taking a chance of being in some prison in El Salvador. I mean,
I mean, I'm hearing more and more stories. People are seeing the effects of it, and
yeah,
I don't know how that affects people in the long run. And
Well, one I
politically,
think would like the Jamaica, like the fruit pickers and stuff, is that Trump has just made it so difficult.
yes,
And it's not a big money thing.
no,
It's not like the computer people that they bring in from India and China that there's some money behind it so they can get them in here.
But now he wants to charge them $100,000 for everyone they bring in. I mean, the man's nuts.
That H-1B visa or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I think it was what I was reading, that a lot of behind the scenes CEOs are getting a little worried about things like that. Something about, what was it, which computer or tech company had to make a deal where they paid the government just for exporting, I think, their stuff.
Yeah.
They had a special export tax that, and just a number of things that Trump's done that partly, and then his whole graft, his whole grifting of money behind the scenes just to get special favors that they're getting.
Yeah, I mean, when they were going after Tylenol, I said, all Tylenol's got to do is buy $1 million of his crypto coins, and suddenly their problems will go away.
Yeah,
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
we're so used to having a country where we basically are a country of laws, and we're getting away from that with Trump.
Yeah.
And I don't think people quite understand it.
And
Well,
good luck
that's the
getting
danger
them
of
back.
the whole strongman dictator, authoritarian, whatever you call it. I mean, that's their calling card, is we'll make everything work. Because democracy's so messy, we'll clean up your streets, and we'll fix the crime, and just give us all the power.
Well, then yesterday I posted that link about Palantir. They've given them access to just basically every government database out there, supposedly to go after the undocumented workers. But Palantir has it in their computer base now, and they can go after anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could go after anybody. They could blackmail anybody that's got any little embarrassing thing out there. There's been years when I haven't been exactly honest on my taxes. When somebody paid me in cash, I go, well, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what's coming down the line for healthcare. I mean, living rurally, there are Homeless Advantage plans that have pulled out of New Hampshire. And I had to change one last year. And now the one that I got, and I said, okay, finally I get it. It's good. They're pulling out. So it's not just New Hampshire. It's all over rurally in the country. And I hope it sets a lot
Yeah,
of...
United, I saw yesterday, United Healthcare is pulling their Medicare Advantage plans out of 1,000 counties or something like that around the country. Yeah.
And it's that was why when I went on Medicare, we had that problem with my father-in-law. We moved him over to an Advantage, basically to get him away from his idiot doctor that he was certain was a good doctor. And we got him onto an Advantage plan. But then all of a sudden we realized he was totally restricted on the hospitals. So we had to take him outside the little city where he lived to another hospital just to get treatment. And so when it came to me getting on it and stuff, I just did Medicare, and I've got the backup insurance through all the Lutheran people, Thrivent.
Huh.
You're
they were like half price of anybody else, and so it was kind of one of those deals that, well, are you Christian? Well, for $1,000, I can be Christian. Yes.
I went through that with my parents. They had this idiot doctor who was just, and we had to do it in, but when they moved over to Medicare Advantage, we could get away from that. I mean, Dad liked him because he had been in the military. He was a military doctor, which is nothing wrong with that. But the guy was just, I mean, Dad had diabetes and Mom had COPD, and the guy just was not managing either one of those conditions, you know. And so anyway, it's funny, but that was an advantage of getting them Medicare Advantage, as we got away from that doctor.
Well, it supposedly saved them, but they were paying an outrageous amount of money for their backup insurance. They had bought it through a salesman from their church.
Renee, just to confirm, that book we were talking about is Burma Sahib, and you're right, it was by Thoreau.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking we ought to have a book club.
It takes me so long now to read a book. It's like, nah, I ain't doing any more book clubs. Years.
Because I don't really actually sit down and read an actual book anymore.
I think my problem is about 3/4 or 90% of my reading is stuff I read online. That's not a book.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
And whether it's reading somebody's newsletter or their blog or whatever. So I do a lot of reading, but I don't do a lot of book reading.
Prime just added a new benefit if you have it, where they used to charge, well, they still do charge for Audible if you want to buy one separately. But if you've got Prime, they will give you one Audible book a month for free.
Oh.
For those who don't want to bother sitting down and reading, you can run around with your earbuds on and listen.
Yeah, I don't read much. Can you see? If you can, I mean, obviously you can see the screen. I mean, look what's behind me, and that's 1/10 of them.
Oh, if I showed you my bookcases, it would take us way too long.
Yeah.
Just in my bedroom alone, I've got. Yeah, just in my bedroom alone, I've got 6.
Jamie,
that sounds like mine.
Yeah.
We're bibliophiles.
Well, how many books do you read, Renee, a week, or do you read?
I used to read a lot. I used to try to read 3 books at least a month, but now it takes me a month to read a book. So it's just depending on what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Well, you used to be like some of those science fiction books. I've got that's the only one I've kept my science fiction books because I like to go back and reread them again. And you'll take one that's one of the smaller ones, and I'll sit down and read it in 2 hours, 3 hours. And back when I was young, there was a lot of times I'd sit there, and all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there still reading a book.
Hey,
I don't do that
Blue.
now. But
Hey, Blue.
Blue just hopped in. You've been busy over on Trail Mix, I see.
Yeah, I just found your video.
You there, Blue?
Yeah, I just found your video. I just posted it. It's creepy as all get out, and they changed the words to "Don't fear the Reaper," and it's creepy.
Okay.
It's creepy and it's bad, and it's poor. It's poor, even poor for AI. But yeah, it's
okay.
Everything you would expect of like a junior high school person in a fight. And what I'm loving now is all of the Life of a Showgirl Taylor Swift posters with JD Vance's face superimposed on him, or Pete Hegseth's face superimposed on him in his makeup chair. It's hilarious. So yeah, they're making good use of that. But
here it is. Is this the Daily Beast?
Yeah, it's embedded in there.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Here it is.
Oh, geez.
Who's that?
Oh,
Yeah,
he marks up medicines.
340B medicine markups?
Bingo.
Oh God. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so they don't want to talk about the Epstein files.
Well, that's Mark. He marks up medicines. As a nonprofit, we might pay a penny for a medicine. Mark marks it
You
up.
need to shut that down, huh? There you go. Yeah.
Oh, maggot man's here. Hold
Hi,
on,
Tony.
you're calling yourself Tony today, I see.
Yeah, well, yeah, everybody want to know what my name is. Call me. No problem.
Oh, we got Jack and Renee and Blue and Jamie.
Yep.
Here. And
delay.
You might not have met Renee before.
Yeah, I met him once.
you sound so thrilled.
Oh, that's okay.
Renee, thanks for the scarf. I never got to thank you in person.
For what?
For the scarf you gave me back in 2006.
Oh my
I still
God.
have it.
Look
I
here.
still have mine too.
Oh my
See that?
God.
There-
Oh God.
There's
Chris,
my coaster that
I
Renee
gotta
made.
send you some more.
Yeah, I probably ought to throw this in the washing machine.
They're just cotton. They will wash, but
They
I
will?
make them bigger now so that you can not only put in your cup of coffee on. You can put, if you want a biscotti, you can put that on too.
Oh yeah. Well, see what I like about them is you could put glasses that sweat on them, and they absorb the moisture from a glass that's wet. That's huge. I mean, and so many coasters don't do that.
And when you lift the glass off of it, it stays on the table.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Well, now we're getting an echo again. I don't know what's causing it.
I'm going to jump out in case it's me.
No. Well, I can see if it's there. Is it still an echo? Yeah, it's still an echo, even if
Yeah, I got
I it's such a gremlin. I'm not figuring out what causes it.
Honey, what do you want to talk about today?
Who's that? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You.
or whatever. I mean, look, I think my perspective is known. I think this is winning. Craig disagrees. He thinks the whole shutdown's not winning. I always keep things like one way.
I'm just looking at the polls.
How does it play out at the polls? How does it play out at the polls? Because that's the day we decide. That's who decides.
I didn't. All I said was, here's what the polls show. I'm not vouching for them. I'm just saying that's what they show.
Skeptical of those polls, especially the New York Times poll that showed a week ago that 65% of people would blame the Democrats. Suddenly, it's a big swing. I don't see how they
Is everybody an echo?
It is so bad, I cannot understand a word that's being said.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what Craig said. Turn your speakers down, Craig.
Let's see if I mute. Now is there an echo? Is there still an echo? Yeah, there is still an. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's causing that.
Let me see something here.
Well, it's not you, Tony, because see, I'm going through.
Craig, because I have to go down to my church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Let's see. One night, maybe it was Renee, because I don't think I hear an echo now.
Okay, put
You
me
there,
back
Jamie?
on.
I've got everybody on now. Jamie,
How
are
about
you
me?
there? Jamie?
I'm not hearing an echo. No.
I'm not either.
Yeah, it's gone now. I think it was Renee. I don't know.
Maybe.
Renee
Well, it
left.
might have
No,
been having 5 people on.
Look how
Oh,
this
Jack.
is why this is a beautiful example why you guys are losing and lost. If you want to hear. Come on. I'm one guy amongst 5 people who presents a different. Oh, okay. I want to get out of here. You're in an echo chamber and you're not hearing what the other side is. It's basically majority.
No, we were
You're not-
literally in echo chamber. People couldn't hear because we've got an echo.
But okay, I know. I know.
And now
John,
the
I'm
echo,
talking-
I think, is
I'm
fixed.
talking figuratively. Figuratively, nobody want to talk. So you're gonna, but Megyn Kelly, she's more popular than Rachel Maddow. She's getting her message out. Nobody's watching Rachel Maddow. I mean, yeah, some people, and that's the highest on MSNBC. You're not getting your message out because you're not engaging in reasonable discussion. Like Fetterman says that. Okay, yeah, he's left to center guy. But and that's why this whole shutdown went down, because Schumer's petrified that if he doesn't stand up to Trump and everything, he's going to lose his primary in New York. He's probably going to lose it anyway, because the party is controlled by the radical left now. So and the people in this country aren't radical left. If you nominated a guy like Ed Rendell, moderate guy. I disagree with him on some stuff, but you can have a reasonable discussion without Trump is a dictator. Trump is hit. This is like old news already. This was tried in the election for 4 years, and you lost. At what point do people start saying, "Hey, maybe we should give a listen to these people, find out where we can agree and disagree, and have a reasoned, political debate"? This Trump is Hitler ain't working. It didn't work in November, and it ain't going to work again. So you got to get. It's not going to work against Vance. Guys like come from Trailer Park, went to Yale Law School. If you think it's going to work, like Vance is the new Hitler, okay, great, go for it. I celebrate. I say do it, because you're going to keep losing. There's my speech.
Yeah, you remind me of what Calvin Coolidge said one time when said, "How
What
do
does
you
that have
put
to
up
do
with
with
these
what I just
people?"
said? What I remind you of. I just said
What-
you're not engaging in the substantive debate on the issue.
Calvin
and you're losing
Coolidge
because
said,
of it.
somebody said, "What do you do when somebody just talks nonstop?" He says, "I just let them go till they run out of steam."
Okay, good. Great. I just made my speech. It was what, 2 minutes? You guys been on for an hour and 7 minutes. Rebut
Which
it.
is
Rebut
Tony,
it. Yeah.
it may be that is why they left. We have been on for over an hour, and they both have things to do.
So,
But
I'm
I will
sorry.
give it to you.
I didn't know
You're
that you guys
talking over me again, Tony.
I'm sorry.
Can
Go
I
ahead. Yeah.
finish my sentence?
Agree with you. Maybe the one, but rebut what I just said.
She's trying. You
Stop,
won't shut up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, you are right. Megan gets 3 million. Rachel gets 2 million. All right,
Right.
there.
But that was an example. I'm saying the left, you guys here, are not engaging in substantive debate. It's all Trump is an idiot. Oh Jesus, did you see what he did? Oh Jesus, he's terrible. That's not winning. You poured everything on him up until election, and you still lost. So at some point, you got to say to yourselves, "Hey, what we're doing ain't winning."
Except you missed the whole previous hour's discussion when we were talking about different cabinet members and what they had done or said.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the point is you cannot make generalities about these things. Right now, the shutdown is pissing people off, and it's pissing them off because the Republicans are in charge of everything, and they agreed to one little meeting for 2 hours before going to it.
Okay.
They would not discuss any of the issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's politics. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's
Democrats do it
called
to
not
the-
engaging.
Backfiring on them.
only people who watch this stuff 24/7 know that. I don't think, look, but once again, if the Republicans do it, and it's immoral and it's unethical and blah blah blah, but they won. It's like Harry Reid said, "Hey, Harry, you lied about Mitt Romney. You're a straight bold-faced liar about it. We won, didn't we? Okay, that's who you're dealing with Trump. That's a knife fight right there. That's what was his name? I just mentioned his name. You're in a knife fight that you picked, and Trump's got a knife. George W. Bush was a patsy. Oh yeah, that's what we have to do. You're in a whole different thing. You're going to have to fight substantively to win. Criticizing Trump because the administration put a sombrero and a mustache, that's stupid stuff now.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
My family has military all the way back to the Revolutionary War.
Mine does too. My mother's a member of the Daughter of the American
What did
Revolution.
you think of bringing in all of those generals and all of their aides to about a tune of 1,000 people to listen to what is basically a political speech?
Okay. I didn't think it was okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Excuse me.
What did you think of the speeches?
I thought it was excellent. I thought Pete Hegseth was superb. I thought he was good. Trump, as usual, goes on and on and on and on. But we're used to that. We knew that about him in 2016, and he still won. And he won again in 2024. So he talks too much. He's not as focused as he should be. That's the man for you. What are we going to do? I'm focused on policy. What Pete Hegseth said as policy, I support 150%. What Trump said is
What do you support that he said?
Okay, one was that dudes in dresses are out. We're getting back. We're going to be a.
Where are there dudes in dresses in the Pentagon? What?
That's what he said, and I agree with it. The Pentagon became an experiment in social engineering.
Okay, where are there dudes in dresses in the military?
I don't know. I can go back and find it somewhere. He said dudes in dresses and blah 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 and this and that.
That's the policy you're agreeing with?
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Dudes in dresses are out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
then.
agreeing. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Do you realize that one of the things he proposed would throw out 60% of the black men for growing a beard?
What did he? Well, I think he said beards are out.
Yeah.
So,
And that would mean that about 60% of the black men, no matter how good they were at their jobs, would have to leave after 1 year.
I don't think that's going to be enforced. Like, oh yeah, look, you can't. A good friend of Craig's and mine was in the military. When you're in the military, you give up your freedom. They tell you do, and you salute and say yes, sir. Belong to somebody. That's it. Shave that beard. Beard got to get shaved, or it's a direct disobey of order. I mean, you lose your freedom. So,
And that means shaving that beard because of a condition prominent among black men would mean that 60% of the men would have to leave after 1 year.
wait a minute, you've added a new variable. A condition prominent among black men. Is this a fact?
Yes.
Or is it some
Yes,
sort of
it's caused by shaving.
Oh, well, if there's a dermatological necessity for them to have a beard, well, then I'm sure that'll be given a waiver. Yeah.
No, that's what he said. If you need a waiver for more than 1 year, you're out.
Yeah. Let's see. I didn't hear that, but I'm sure that he gave the general outline. This is no longer.
No, that's specifically what he said in the speech.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The basic thrust of what I heard, and I heard a good deal of it, is the military is no longer a social engineering project. Women who can make the grade physically will be in combat units. Women who can't make the grade are not going to be given a waiver because they're women. It's going to be uniform. It's going to become a mean, lean, killing machine. And that's up from the fat generals in the Pentagon all the way down to the colonels out in the field. Everybody's going to get focused on it.
Except that's already the way it is. Women cannot go into the. Women cannot go into
change anything. I mean, none
women
of this
can go in.
It's like what they always do. They identify problems that don't exist.
Okay, well, that's politics
and then propose their solutions. And when it turns out the problem isn't a problem because it never was, then they say they solved it. This is a pattern with them over and over again in all kinds of areas.
Okay.
And several of the things he said were constitutional violations, and several were
Just out of
were
curiosity.
violations of the current military justice laws.
What were the constitutional violations? Just out of
Oh, let's see. What were the ones about cruel and unusual punishment? I'd have to go through it speech by speech, but they were there. And if you read commentary about people who understand military law, they were absolutely horrified by that speech.
Okay, well, yeah. Look, I mean, the president is the commander in chief. He can tell everybody, get your ass in here and get down on your knees and pray.
No, he can't.
He can tell them. He's the commander in chief.
No, he can't.
They don't swear allegiance to the commander in chief. They swear allegiance to the Constitution.
Yeah, but the commander in
they
chief
work
is the
for.
executor of the Constitution. If the commander in chief says, "Have your ass in my office,"
Not if it's unconstitutional.
the night that your
Not if
wife
he
is
orders-
giving birth.
If his
you better
orders
be-
are illegal, they don't have to.
Well, they can pursue it in a court of law, in a military court of law, but I don't know how far that's going to go. The commander in chief is the commander in chief. Yeah, he has the right to tell a general, you're no longer a general, you're on the front lines and you're fighting. You know, okay. I mean, it's pretty absolute from my understanding. If I'm wrong, you know, send link to a document that the commander.
Now that he can do. He can reassign a general. Just as Truman got rid of MacArthur.
Now, I thought it was a political success. Pete Hegseth and then Trump. Trump speaks too long. I got it. But I thought it was a political success, and I think it was a practical success.
Well, that's the point. They used the military. I mean, you make the point that they used the military for a political event.
And that's why you're mad. Okay, no problem.
I'm just saying that's what they did.
But there's nothing illegal with it. If they're illegal, okay, you can impeach them and remove them. There's nothing illegal with it. It's not this guy. I said that he has a style all his own. Some part of it I like, some part of it I don't like. I'm with you on something. Like, why is he saying this? But he's got a style. You can't compare him to George W., to Bill Clinton, to Nixon.
George W. looks like a saint now to me.
What's that?
George W. looks like a saint now to me.
Right. But that's why you guys have lost so much persuasive power, because I say that, you know, he's the worst president in the history of the. But dude, you said the same thing about George W. Bush. You know, it was 10 years. I heard all the same thing. George Bush is Hitler. Somewhere in Texas, a village idiot is missing.
I never called George
And
W.
before that, it was Reagan. Reagan, oh my God, that's it. We're going to war. It's all going to be over this guy. So, I've heard it. So it's lost all effect. The hyper rhetoric is, and I don't know what you're going to say about Vance. This guy's like trailer park guy, end up going into the military and then go. I mean, how are you going to demonize him? I don't think it's working. I think you've got to buckle down on like
that liar. He's a liar.
Okay, and know what? And if I can say Trump was a liar, and Biden was a liar, and Obama was a liar, and Hillary Clinton's a liar, and
Especially there's something about Vance's lies really come out when he talks about immigrants. I mean, he's one that started the whole eating dogs business, you know. And then this most recent one where he keeps going on and on about how Democrats want to give away all your money to illegals. I mean, none of that's true.
I don't think he said they want to give away all your money to illegals.
Yeah,
he said, look,
he's saying Democrats want to shut down because they want to give all the illegals free health care. I mean,
but this I don't know if he said it or not, but know what?
He said it over and over again. What are you talking about?
Harry Reid played hardcore politics. Hey, we won.
Oh, here we go. Whataboutism. I can always tell when you guys are losing an argument because you change the subject to somebody else.
I'm saying, look, the argument is that Vance exaggerates or outright lies, or puffery, and Trump lies and puffery. Okay, great. I agree. Sometimes Trump said something about 25 illegal immigrants. Is that a lie? Or is that him puffery? Or is that him just not knowing the numbers? I don't know. But it's not really going to affect anything substantively. You know what I mean? Like, okay, some people are going to say, okay, he's a liar. He said that, okay, maybe he made a mistake. Probably didn't. He exaggerates. The guy exaggerates. What are we going to do? I wish he would be more correct with the numbers. Hey, somewhere between 10 million and 17 million illegals entered the country when Biden was president. Okay. I can work with that. That's a lot better than 25 million. I don't like that, but I got to work with what I got. Yeah.
Well, it will make an impact when the rural hospitals close down because of that little problem.
Sure. And if it has an impact, Trump will a negative impact. It could affect the Democrats or it could affect the Republicans. Right now, I'm betting on what's going on policy wise is going to affect Democrats negatively. But let's argue against Trump sending in troops to some city to clean it up. I think that's a losing argument for Democrats. I might be wrong. I might lose. I wow, I thought it was no. They okay, I could be wrong. But it all comes out on election day. That's it. All the arguing gets signed, and that's what happened. Trump won.
Tony, do you ever go on Craig's website to read all of the different things that we put up there?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I've been commenting on Craig's YouTube page that way because I do much better writing than I do speaking. It just I can.
Well, that's where we do all our writing on trailmix.cc.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That one. I basically, I can jot off.
Like I put up a chart you would like about measuring being an authoritarian, and it compared things like George Washington to FDR to Trump and so on, and actual numbers and figures. And we do a lot of that on Trail Mix that he cannot do on YouTube.
What's the site? Trailmix.com?
.cc.
Oh, right. Chat.
I couldn't get .com, so I had to get .cc.
Okay, I got it. News, blah, 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 blah. Watch the stream. What you'll need, works back. I got all that. Drop us a line. Got Craig at help at Craig, but
yeah, you don't have to register. You can just go in anonymously.
Right. I'm in the chat room. That's the thing. I got to get out of the chat room and just go to trailmix.cc.
No, you're reading Trail Mix. Just keep going up there. All of these different links that you see are things that people have posted. Some get it.
There we are.
I think Craig's shorts are very well produced. I give him a thumbs up. Craig's got his personality going. I thought the Relief or Reckless with was it Statistics Dude or something like that was pretty good. I thought it came out. It was pretty honest, and you asked the right questions. I think we're winning on that issue. I could end up being wrong. I mean, I think we're winning on illegal immigrants. No money for illegal immigrants. I think,
except that that's already against the law, and they're not getting it.
That's been kind of shown to be. That's been kind of shown to be right. Look, let's go from the top down. Do illegal immigrants receive full medical benefits in California? Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. Any age, anything, they receive Medicaid.
That's California's choice. That's not a federal. That has nothing to do with Congress or this shutdown.
Right. No, here we go. Okay. Do illegal immigrants of any age receive Medi-Cal? If that's their Medicaid, Medi-Cal in California? Yes, they receive Medi-Cal. Does the federal government subsidize Medi-Cal? Yes, 50% of Medi-Cal's money come from the federal government. The trick, the sleight of hand here, the ledger domain, as they call it, is that they're saying, no, the money that comes from the federal government, that's over in that box. We don't use that for, now we're into game playing. Okay.
You're playing the game. Because what you're talking about has nothing to do with this shutdown or Congress.
I mean, I disagree. I think it has. That's a major issue. And I think the Republicans are going to win on it because they automatically have identified the ledger domain, the sleight of hand, the accounting trickery that's going on. It's like California does give healthcare benefits to illegals. Yes, that's a fact. That's not, and they advertise it. From there, do they receive money for healthcare from the federal government? Yes. What they're saying is we don't use the money that we receive from the federal government for the illegals. That's out. I don't think that's going to win. I don't think. I don't know
if it wins or not, but that's the fact.
But yeah,
if they were using it for illegals, they could be sued for that.
I don't think that's going to play well in Iowa.
I don't care what's. I'm talking about if that's what's happening, then the Trump administration can sue the state right now if that's the
I
problem.
guess so, but why? We can just shut it down. But look, the Trump administration was happy with the way
That's
things
how
were
they
going.
shut it down, is through the
But
court.
The Trump administration was happy with the way things were going. They cut that out. And don't forget, it wasn't that way until 2021 when Biden got these people, the illegals came in and said, okay, we're paroling you. And it was set to run out even in the Biden administration, but they would have renewed it. Or I don't know, if Harris had been elected, they would have renewed it. It's a winning issue for Republicans in the swing states. I don't care about California. When I was in Brazil for those 25 years, I voted in California because that was the last state I lived in. Absentee ballots, mail it in. We had but like I knew my vote didn't mean anything. I got a freebie in 2016. I didn't even vote for Trump. I was like, I don't like this guy. So, but let's see. Old Tony.
Well, let's see. Let's ask Stat Dude. You there?
Stat Dude is a good dude. I like Stat Dude.
Absolutely, I'm here. And hey, I'm always ready to dive into the numbers and maybe get a little
I can't
over
get his mouth moving.
Yeah, do you pay for Stat Dude?
Oh, Stat Dude. Sometimes he just needs a little nudge to get that mouth moving on camera. But don't worry, he's...
I have to keep working on that. I haven't perfected that.
Do you have to pay for Stat Dude? Or is that just...
I'm trying to think. Well, I guess so. No, I use a free software for creating the avatars.
I thought Stat Dude is pretty good. I mean, he seems pretty objective. I trust his.
Well, all it is Chat GPT.
Yeah, is that
I
really
just put a fan. So I mean, I guess in a sense, I do pay Chat GPT $20 a month.
How much a month?
A month, 20.
And Chat GPT or whatever is Microsoft.
No, it's the AI that Sam Altman runs, and I use it for.
Interesting. So it's a chat. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Old Tony doesn't have. When Biden was president, I wasn't losing my mind over it. I was like, I don't like this guy. I don't like the policy, but I thought he was senile. But I'm not
here I've got Chat GPT. Here's what I was going to ask, dude, except I couldn't get his mouth to move. Now, what do we want to ask about? All right. Does you tell me, does California use federal funds for health care for undocumented immigrants? Is that the right question?
Yeah, but he's going to say, of course not, because
I don't know what he's going to say.
It's illegal to do so. I know it's illegal to do so, but that's not what's happening. What needs to happen is the explanation.
Well, we'll see. They usually give some context if we want. Searching. Not for most of it. See, now he does qualify it. Not for most of it. Federal law generally prohibits using for non-emergency. Here's the messy nuance. Because of course, nothing involving government is simple. The federal Medicaid statute allows federal reimbursement for health services provided to qualified non-citizens. For undocumented immigrants, states can only get federal Medicaid funds for emergency medical services.
Right.
There you
go. There's your question.
If a state provides non-emergency services to undocumented people, those costs must be borne by the state, not the federal government. And an audit found that California improperly claimed $52 million in federal reimbursement. And so the question becomes, what did they do about that? I wonder when they did make claims, $52 million, and
the question is this: are illegal aliens covered under Medi-Cal? Number one question. Number two question: does California receive federal funds for Medi-Cal healthcare benefits? And there you go. Now there could be an accounting trick. The federal funds, we put it in a lockbox and we put it away and we never use it on the illegals. But then,
Well, they're saying here that they
Tony,
were accused.
That is what that site is saying. They are allowed to use federal funds for purely emergency care, which is in line with the Hippocratic Oath.
Right.
But they are not supposed to use it for regular health care.
Okay.
But California improperly used almost 53 million that they were not supposed to use, and they had to reimburse it.
Right. But that's
Yeah, here's the Inspector General.
Let's
And
always.
this is the Inspector General report on that.
Let me ask you a question, Jamie and Craig. Do you think this is a winning issue for the Democrats in the swing states? I do not.
Well, they're not campaigning on that issue. Democrats are campaigning for. No, wait a second. Democrats are not advocating federal funds for health care for undocumented immigrants. So they're not having that. I mean, Republicans are lying and saying that's what Democrats are saying, but Democrats are not saying that. So it's not a debate. It's not
The
it's not
issue that the Democrats are complaining about are the cuts that will deprive regular American citizens of health care in areas such as the Midwest and places like a whole lot of local clinics and online medical care and so on are being shut down because of cuts that were made at the federal level. And that is money that was going to actual citizens.
Right.
And that's what we're complaining about. So two different issues.
And the thing is, I mean, you and I have had some good back and forth, Tony, about that issue of premiums, subsidies for middle class in Pennsylvania. And the thing is, why don't Republicans just engage that issue instead of making up another issue, which isn't real, that Democrats want to shut down because they want to give away free health care to undocumented? I mean, that isn't what's happening. What's happening is Democrats are complaining about cutting out premium subsidies, and Republicans don't want to engage that issue. But I think it's worth. I mean, they have a side. I mean, you've made some good cases about that. These people make too much money, and they make enough money. They don't deserve these subsidies. Have that argument, but they don't want to engage that debate. They want to make up another one that doesn't exist.
The Republicans are saying, I just watched a little Fox News. I don't watch much Fox News, but I watch a little bit. They're saying, open up the government, give us these 7 votes, and we'll have that debate. And I think that's what.
Yeah. They've said that before. Yeah,
I think
nobody
They
believes
could have
that.
had that debate before they shut down the government.
No, but they were going to have that debate. That's coming up. But
No,
I
they're
just sent a link.
never going to have that.
They tried to have that debate for a year, Tony, and he wouldn't even meet with him.
Well, don't forget the big beautiful bill passed. That's the way.
Yeah,
it was.
because with no Democratic votes, because they did not even negotiate with
So
Democrats
did
on
I
any
guess
of these issues.
Obamacare passed with no Republican votes. That's where we are.
Yeah.
You got to have a bill. But I just sent a link to a YouTube that was on Mega. This is what the problem is. It's a good link. It shows like 4 or 5 years ago when Biden, all the Democrats who is favor, raise your hand if you're in favor of giving federal funds or free health care to illegal. Everyone raises their hand. That clip is going to come back and haunt you this weekend.
Are you talking about the clip from the 2020
Yes.
campaign? Are you serious? You're going to use that?
Elizabeth Warren. I understand I understand that. See, we got to always separate. Are we working?
I remember that moment, and I thought it was a dumb thing.
Yeah, but are we talking about policy wonk stuff, and we're into the policy and everything? Are we talking about political outcome? I'm always.
No, we're talking about a family of 4 that's about to get a notice that their health insurance and premiums are going up anywhere from $200 to $400 and maybe more per month.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about, and we know that because Pennsylvania's already run the numbers.
A family of 4 making $65,000 a year, grossing. Well, let's say grossing $70,000 a year. The wife works, the husband works. They gross $75,000. Okay. What should they pay for health insurance per month, in your opinion? What seems fair to you?
Well, if they were like every other developed nation, nothing.
Okay, they're great.
Well-
Make that case. We're for socialized medicine. It's not going to work.
Well, I mean, the answer
It
before
works
the big,
everywhere else.
Where have
I'm
you
trying to give you the answer.
But
All right. The
Yeah.
answer was before the big beautiful bill. It was a percentage case. Is that you didn't have to pay in order to get subsidies. If you paid more than 8%, is 8.5, I think 8.5% of your income for your health insurance. If you were paying more than that, then you would get the subsidy on a graduated scale. And that was how it worked before. The big beautiful bill got rid of that. And that's the discussion that we're having now is Democrats want to put that back in,
right?
and then they'll agree to stop the shutdown. That's what's causing the shutdown is that debate. And it's not anything about free health care for undocumented, which Vance keeps saying.
Okay. I want
And
to
that's a good thing. And I'm saying, maybe that is too generous, to say that families paying more than 8% of their income for health insurance should not get subsidies. But let's have that debate. Republicans don't want to engage that debate. They want to change it to something that's not even real.
Particularly when you're giving a tax cut to billionaires.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
that becomes the other
Everybody
thing.
gets a tax. I like the way George Bush. Everybody should get a 3% tax cut. If you're making $75,000 a year, you're getting 3%. If you're making $75 million a year, you're getting a 3%. Obviously, that's going to be more of a cut for $75 million. I'm in favor of that. Yeah.
And 3% for a nurse on making $60,000 is basically lunch money. I mean,
For a year, I'll
worth
take that. I'll take lunch money for a year. I got no problem. It's not lunch money for a day. Look, it's only fair. I mean, if you put
And of course, the guys up in that echelon are not getting their money from income. They are getting it from buybacks and stock holdings and so on that isn't being taxed.
I'm up in that. I won't even make $20,000 this year. And I'm getting, well, wait a minute. From work, I'll get it from trading stocks, investing. That's the system. If you want to get rid of it, that's a total political liability. We want to look at everybody looking at their 401k today, new high in the S&P, and thinking like, hey, I got money. I'm going out to, okay, let's get rid of that. Socialism ain't going to work. If I know what, I hope Mondami gets elected in New York. I'm praying for it. I think it'd be great. Let's have this little experiment and see. It never worked before. I don't know what they think is going to work now. But I want to.
I don't even understand what it is he's going to do that's got everybody so worked up.
Government-owned grocery stores, and we're going to have free public transportation. Okay, but I want to address something Jamie said, because I hear this a lot, and people say, every other civilized nation in the world has public health care. Great. My first question is always, where have you lived in the rest of the world? Well, I've lived in the 500-mile radius for most of my life. Me, I lived in Brazil for 20. See this? That's called SUS. That's public health care in Brazil. There's my name. There's my number. I have health care in Brazil. Now check this out. When I was in Brazil, my job was teaching English, and all my clients were private clients that I got, and they were 90% doctors. I've taught every kind of oncologist. I've taught every kind of surgeon. I've taught urologists. I've taught I teach dermatologists. Now taught every one of them down there in Brazil. None of them. They all have this, but they all pay for private insurance, and they pay dearly. They pay, their salary is like 25,000 reais, the currency there, 25. They pay 2,000. They pay 3,000 for a family of 4. They play dearly. They work. Many of the guys work in this SUS, they call it. They work. Tony, I work in it. I would never have this for me and my family. That's all. Yes, I have public health care. I would never use it. I pay $2,500 or 2,500 reais a month to just so that I have private, because most of the best hospitals don't accept. That's what they said. The only thing that this public health care is good at is stab and bullet wounds. because that's what they got coming in the emergency. Hey, you get stabbed or you get a bullet wound, then you want to.
I'm not following your point.
The point is the people who know best and the people who work in this system, the system, do not use public health care. They pay for private health care because it's that bad.
But in their system, everybody gets.
Everybody has it. Yeah, you get signed up with Social Security. Everybody has a card.
I mean,
yeah, I got so.
So if you have the means to get private insurance, you do and you can. Right. But the point is, you don't have people with no health care.
Well, we have everybody here has look. If you go to any emergency room, you're going to get seen. I don't care if your name is Jose Gonzalez or
right, and that costs the government a lot of money. I mean, that costs us more money than subsidizing health. That's the whole point of Obamacare.
Be careful what you ask for, because
because we saved a lot of money on federal reimbursements for emergency care with Obamacare.
Yeah, in Brazil,
by getting people insured. Yeah, I mean that's a fact. I mean
you didn't get people insured. It was basically Medicaid. It was like, okay, Obamacare is not Medicaid. Medicaid is no longer called Medicaid. It's really Obamacare.
The Affordable Care Act is not Medicaid.
A lot of it is. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's something like 25, 30 million people on the Affordable Care Act.
It's like
that aren't on Medicaid.
And they're insured through regular insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. I've always found it funny. The people who are on Medicaid can go and say, "Do you have insurance?" Yes, I have insurance. Here it is. That's not insurance. Insurance is
We're talking about private insurance companies that get money from the ACA to insure people.
Okay, that's one part of Obamacare. The other part is Medicaid, which is like, hey, I don't make enough.
Obamacare was Obama just increased the federal payments for Medicaid to states that accepted it.
Okay.
I mean, but the point is
the ACA is a completely different system.
I mean, the point is in Brazil, even if the care is not quality, everyone's insured, no matter how much money you make.
I don't like to use that word insured because insurance is a bet. I'm the pessimist. I'm betting that I'm going to have
they have leverage.
The insurance company is looking at me and saying,
but in Brazil, everyone has health insurance in Brazil. Is that right?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't want to call insurance. Everyone has access to
and I'm just saying, no matter how bad it is, at least everyone's got something. Here, we've got millions of people that have none.
But and once again, everyone has access to public health care. Now, you have a hernia. Good example. I had 2 hernia surgeries.
Well, the problem with the emergency room is now that they're closing rural hospitals, poor people in rural areas are sometimes 2.5 hours away from emergency room. They die on the way to the emergency room.
That's going to be a political liability. Somebody's going to get blamed for that politically. Okay.
Well, it's the Republicans who did it.
Tell you who deserves the blame.
Okay, that's you guys' job, is to make it stick on Republicans. I don't think that's going to be as easy as it once was for you guys, because people aren't listening to ABC News. Before you had a total domination of the media. Somebody would say something, and then it would be reinforced on the nightly news, ABC Nightly News. That's over. I have a friend who's an agent, Craig knows him, who says he still thinks like ABC and CBS and NBC and CNN are important. They're increasingly less important.
Yeah. I've had that discussion with him too.
They're increasingly less important.
YouTube is more important than any of those.
You got that right. And these clips that everyone gets a piece of, like, oh, here's the clip I can use in this debate. The YouTube is like, forget NBC. That's gone the way of the horse and buggy. It's all gone. Yeah, it's all, like you said, YouTube is where it's happening. And these podcasts. The Republicans, because they were out in the wilderness for so long, are really quite good with the podcast. Megyn Kelly's got a lot of viewers. Ben Shapiro's got a lot of viewers. Somebody on the Democratic side.
There's some really good ones. Midas Touch and Tom Hartman and
the Democrats got to get a star. They need to get a star, and unfortunately, some of your stars who could have been good. What's his name? Politically incorrect.
Bill Maher.
Yeah, he's going more and more right. He's almost right of center these days. I mean,
I don't know
who
where
the
he is.
superstar is going to. Somebody's got to come up.
Depends on the issue. He
Yeah.
rolls around all over the middle.
Sure, he's pretty much over on the map on that thing. But look, he's entertaining ideas that he wouldn't have entertained 5-6 years ago. So,
But yeah, I mean, but yeah, one of the most difficult things in politics. I mean, some of the people I know who are still in the business. I mean, they say their biggest problem, right or left, Republican or Democrat, is figuring out where people are, where they're getting their information, and how to influence them. It's becoming increasingly difficult.
yeah, I just don't think, as soon as in the run up to the election, MSNBC has decent viewership, so does, but then the election happens and I don't think left wing people are as inclined to be religious in their viewing habits. You know what I mean? I listen to Ben Shapiro every day because I go to the gym. I put him in my podcast. I'm on my elliptical machine doing my work, and I'm listening to him. Oh, okay.
He sounds like a computer to me.
He does have that little. He clips his voice very quickly.
I keep wondering if he's actually an avatar.
No. If you're listening to Ben Shapiro, I've said this. It's information rich. It's really not for entertainment. Megyn Kelly is much more entertaining. You're much more entertaining. You got your shtick on. That's good. No problem. Ben Shapiro is just basically, he's a barrage of information. Okay, here it is. And he backs it up with his video clips. Okay, here's somebody saying this. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh man. It's all good, man. It's like a doctor once, a brilliant doctor. The house of Salvador, Brazil. That's what all the other doctors will tell you. He's brilliant. He's actually an internal medicine guy because he taught at the university. He said, but he taught. Oh man, he's a great man. Who treats lupus? What kind of doctor? How about that? I forget.
Lupus?
Yeah.
Did you say lupus?
Yeah. What kind of doctor treats lupus?
I don't know.
Yeah, shit.
We might have to ask that.
My memory's going bad, man. Hold on, let me think. Not a nephrologist. That's a kidney doctor. Is a endocrinologist? No. Lupus is tough, man. Lupus is tough because it's like there are all these symptoms, okay, and they all talk to each other. I got a patient. She got this symptom, or just one.
Well, actually, I remember I have a relative who used to do fundraising for lupus, and I remember her talking about that the medical profession was really not very well educated about lupus in general.
Lupus is tough. Lupus is a tough disease. Rheumatologist, dumbass. I'm so stupid. I can't remember. Rheumatology is a tough discipline. And this guy, the guy, Carlos Geraldo, I call him CG. He was a friend. Yeah, because what I did was I sat in their office, maybe at lunchtime and going, and a lot of guys just want to talk. They speak English. I always tried to buckle down and keep some focus on the lesson, but we'd end up talking. But he said something to me once, man, that stuck with me. A lot of things doctors told me stuck with me. But one, he's like, when you think your life is all screwed up and this and that, remember, you're out in the middle of the New Jersey Turnpike. It's raining. You had a blowout, and you're like, it's 3:00 in the morning, and your spares by. You're like, oh man, I can't believe my life is terrible. He said, remember, there's some guy laid up in the hospital with stage 4 prostate cancer, metastatic to the liver, who would love to be in your situation. So I operate under that, man. I'm just happy. I got my health. I got a lovely wife that I love. I like arguing about this type of stuff, but I don't take it too seriously because that's the bottom line. If you got your health, you got everything. Quem tem saúde tem tudo.
Anyway, Tony, I've been on for almost 2 hours, and I'm enjoying talking to you. I am not fleeing the room. I just have a life.
Yeah, I do. I got to go to the gym, like I said. I got to get back to working out.
I will talk to you both later.
Good to hear you.
All right, yeah. Hi. And here is get on Trail Mix and
I'll do it. Yeah. I'll you know me. I
made it ridiculously easy.
I'm there. I'm already there.
Log in and chat. It's trailmix.cc. I couldn't get .com.
I'm at it right now. I'm saying Trump official contradicts FBI and Epstein sex clients. I don't think that's
So you can dig in. You can dig into that one. And you hit comments there, and you go down. And if you don't want to register with a permanent screen name, you can just log in anonymously and choose your screen name and change it every time you log in.
I'm out here with my insignificant opinions. I got nothing to hide. I don't make any money. I got no great wealth. That behind every great wealth, there's a great crime or something like that. Tolstoy said, "Yeah, I got none of that." I'm in New Jersey. I'm a simple guy. I'm 65. Just signed up for Medicare. You know anything about, dude? What you have?
Oh, I can tell you all about Medicare.
Yeah, I signed up for. I turned 65 in August. I signed up for it, Part D. I'm gonna have to pay $185 a month, and I've signed up for a supplementary, a Medigap plan.
Well, that's the main thing is you choose between supplement and advantage. And supplement's more expensive monthly, but the trouble with advantage is it doesn't cost you anything up front, but they copay you to death.
Yeah. I mean, are you advantage? Are you advantage? Or are you?
I'm supplemental.
It's supplemental. Yeah, that's which one?
I pay full freight for the supplemental, which they call Medigap now. They keep
So,
changing the names of everything. Which
are you Plan G? Are you Plan G or Plan
G? Yeah, G.
G is expensive. I'm N, which has a 50 copay if you go to the emergency room and you're not admitted. If you're admitted, you don't have to pay, and it's a $20 copay for doctor's visits. Okay.
Yeah. But the other thing to pay attention to that kind of caught me is I saw it up front, and then once it happened, is there's also a deductible. So the first 300 or so, you're paying full freight.
That's always what
beginning. That's at the beginning of the year, you get some bills in the beginning, and I got a little freaked out because I thought this was just $20, but then I realized I hadn't finished about my deductible. Once I paid the deductible, then the lower copays kicked in.
Oh, really? So the deductible covers doctor's visits too, because it kicks in. And
I may be using the wrong term, but you have to. The first, I think it's something like $300. You have to pay all of it, no matter what the copays. I mean, like for a doctor visit, for example, you still pay the full freight until you've reached that threshold, whatever your plan is.
And what is it?
And then after that threshold, that's when the low copays kick in.
Well, I think it's like this.
That's what got me.
I think it's like this. Part B has the deductible, but that's why you're paying the GAP plan, because the GAP covers that. I think
it might not cover all of it. It's not tricky. I mean, all I know is I got bills I didn't expect, and when I read the plan, I thought, oh, okay, they did have it in the fine print. I just didn't see it at first.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just saying, don't be shocked if you get a couple of bills in the beginning that you didn't expect, because it goes away eventually. But how they get
it says here, the AI overview says, yes, a supplemental plan can cover deductibles, but coverage depends on the type of supplemental insurance and specific plan.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
I'm going with Plan N. I mean, dude, I was telling Miles, this stuff is complicated. I spent the past 6 months. I spent the past 6 months, but when I get on the phone with these brokers, I spend a lot of time like, hey, fellas, I understand. I've studied it. I understand the limitations, the benefits. Plan G is what? What are you paying? $170 a month for it?
I think it's 180 something.
And who's your carrier?
United Healthcare.
Yeah, that's what. So you got it through AARP. Okay, that's a rock solid plan. I'm going with Cigna I'm going Plan N with Cigna for 116, and that's the Medigap plan. But that seems reasonable for me. That seems reasonable. But the Plan G, you got full coverage, no problem. No problem. And believe me, if you make it to my mom's got Plan F, and she's 91, but she's paying like $350, $370.
I don't think they offer that plan anymore. Actually.
No, they don't. They don't. Yeah, that's gone. That's a goner. That one covers almost everything. That's like crazy coverage, But this is new for me. But I want to have something. Hey, you end up, something happens. I need knee surgery. Oh, I hurt my knee on the elliptic. Okay, you need knee surgery. Okay, that's gonna be $50,000. Suddenly everything's paying. I mean, it's paid. Okay, I paid 160. I'm sure the premiums go up every year. I'm prepared for that. What am I gonna do?
Well,
I'm not like you. You got that massive Social Security check coming in every month, so that doesn't bother you.
Oh yeah, right.
Miles told me all about Craig Crawford. He said, "Hey, Craig is just rolling in the dough." Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, right. Well, my problem with Social Security is for so many years I was on independent contract, so I didn't pay as much into Social Security.
Right? Yeah.
Some people, so I don't get quite as much back. But
I'm an independent contractor right now, but I have to play a show tomorrow night. But I'll make like $11,000 this year as an independent contractor, maybe less. $9,000.
Yeah, Sturgeon, our guy Sturgeon on track, he's a musician and he was very interested. He's the one that talked to you about your guitar the other day.
Oh, right.
Anyway, he's interested in finding your band on YouTube, and he found a clip the other day that he put on Trail Mix, but we weren't sure if it was yours or not.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good.
We'll be down in Maryland tomorrow night. Hobby do something place. I forget what it's called. Hobby the
Well, do you guys have any YouTube links or something? Or?
Yeah, I got lots. Some of it are with the bass player before me, but others are, with.
Well, I mean, they were interested in seeing. Yeah. I mean, Sturgeon particularly was interested in seeing that.
Classic Stones Live tribute band.
If you go on Trail Mix and post that YouTube, it'll pop right up.
Yeah,
because I know Sturgeon was interested in seeing.
Good man. I'm 6 years. I wasn't in this show, was I? Some of these shows we play. Yeah, let's see, that's fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this stream's at 2 hours. I need to shut it down.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm glad I can see what's they'll allow these tributes. Okay. Enjoy life, man. Don't stress out about the Trump character. Don't. It's ain't worth it.
It's fun.
Life is about living and enjoying it.
I think the Trump world is more it's funnier than South Park.
Some way. Yeah, that's what some of the things they say. Look, like even Ben Shapiro said, like this guy has got you. Like he puts out these stupid tweets, like the sombrero and the mustache, and everybody freaks out the rage. I thought it's a different presentation than we've had in the past. Is it quote presidential unquote? Not in relation to past presidents, of course not. But it's a new president. It's a new way. I'm liking it. It's all fun. But who knows? I'm sure there'll be a screw up somewhere down the line. We'll go, man, this guy. Yeah, like Trump always says something stupid here, and that's how it'll happen. And we'll have to deal with it. But the world will go on. Hopefully, my liver will be intact after it all. Ciao, brother. Yeah. I'm out. All right.
Oh.
Yep.